Sugarloaf Key, Tales of the Swine Family. Subtitle, Fuck These People. I'm sitting in a motel room on the edge of a private marina in the Florida Keys. Just another place to stay in the Keys if you want to bring your boat down and get serious about the water. Which is true as far as it goes. This is a nice place. The owner is Lloyd Good, a one-time district attorney from Philadelphia who bought the whole place on a whim about 10 years ago and moved into a position of considerable power in the low end of the Florida Keys. I'm a paying guest in Lloyd Good's motel, and from my desk I can see his apartment behind the general store about 100 yards away from me across the canal. And I know he's sleeping heavily on a king-size bed over there with his wife Miriam, a fine and friendly woman about 50 years old who has always been my friend. She's been asleep since midnight, and she will wake up early to supervise the breakfast shift at the restaurant. Lloyd will wake up later, or at least he would on most days. But in this one, I suspect he will be an early riser. It could happen at any moment, in fact, and that is why I want to get this story down quick and get out of this place before dawn, because ugly things are about to happen. There's a huge pig's head in Lloyd Good's toilet tonight. I put it there about 3 hours ago, just before he walked home from the bar. The snout is poking straight up and out of the family toilet, and the pig's lips are glistening with ruby red lipstick, and the eyes are propped open, and the toilet bowl is filled with red commercial ketchup. The first time anybody in that house goes into the bathroom and turns the light on, I'm going to have to be very alert. We will have serious action, hysteria, wild rage. I've seen a lot of hideous things in my time, but the sight of this eerie white pig's head and the white toilet bowl with its mouth covered with lipstick and its dead gray eyes looking straight up at me, or at anyone else who comes near that toilet, will live in my memory forever as one of the most genuinely hideous things I've ever seen. The idea of waking up half drunk in the middle of the night and wandering into your own bathroom and pissing distractedly into your own toilet and realizing after not many seconds that there is something basically wrong with the noise that normally happens when you piss into a bowl full of water in the middle of the night, and feeling the splash of the warm urine on your knee because it's bouncing off the lipstick-smeared snout of a dead pig's head that is clogging up your toilet. That is a bad thing to see when you're drunk. And Lloyd will see it soon. He should have seen it a long time ago, in fact, but tonight he broke his normal routine of relieving himself before falling into bed. And at that point, the joke went out of control. I thought, what have I done? What if his wife wakes up first? Which she almost certainly will. Or maybe John, the 13-year-old son, will be the first to visit the bathroom. I wasn't counting on this. My plan has turned weird on me, and now I have to flee. The thing is so ugly that I almost got sick while I was putting the lipstick on it. Now, we all enjoy humor, but this is very far over the line. We're not talking about jokes here. We're talking about crazy ugly, real malice, terrible shock and weeping for a 50-year-old lady or a 13-year-old child, people screaming out of control at a sight too vile to see, innocent people crawling out of the bathroom on their knees and calling wildly for help from the father. And that evil drunken bastard is going to be jerked out of his sleep very soon by the terrified screams of his loved ones. And when that happens, he's going to turn crazy and want to kill somebody or maybe send others to do it. And they'll come to number 202. My room is the only one with lights on tonight. I'm still up, and I will be on the road very soon. I have a friend up the road on Ramrod Key who will take me in and hide me for a while, and my partner in the Gonzo Salvage Company will get my boat out of the marina. Jesus. I just looked to my left, and I saw the curtains moving. My sliding glass door is wide open, and he could jump me at any moment. That's why I have this big gray flashlight sitting next to me on the desk. It's a fully charged taser, a savage little tool capable of delivering a 50,000-volt whack on anybody who comes within 18 feet. And I've got the bugger primed. Whappo! 50,000 volts. Flapping around like a fish, eyes rolled back in his head, screeching helplessly, and then taking another shock. The taser will deliver 5 separate and distinctly massive jolts once the barbs are fired into the victim. You can keep the buggers jumping around on the end of the little wire lines for almost an hour if the machine is fully charged. I don't want to have to do it. The taser is a felony crime in some states, and I'm not sure what it is now in Florida. But I know that anybody who comes through my door at this hour of the night will not have good news for me. And they'll have to be shot with something. I'm not a violent person, but I know there's a time and place for everything, and this is unfortunately one of those times. I sawed the head off the pig around midnight. Lloyd had it stored in the meat locker at the lodge, planning to marinate it for a big barbecue for his friends on Sunday. With the head as a main piece of art. All this took about 90 more seconds, sneaking into his home and putting a pig's head in his toilet. Okay, the joke's over now. I have to flee. It's 6:25 on a wet Thursday morning, and I know that somebody over there will be using the bathroom very soon. The time has come. I don't want to be around when it happens. And that bastard will not take this thing lightly, and besides, I owe him $3,000, my food and beverage bill for the past 3 months, and he's worried about getting the money. I told him that pig was going to be very expensive. He and his boys put it in my bed the other night, tied up and drugged and half hidden under the covers, so that I sat down on the bed right next to the beast. I began talking seriously on the telephone to my accountant, who was not amused when the thing suddenly began moving, and I said, I'm sorry, I'll have to call you back. There's a pig in my bed. Which was true. I calmed the beast down with a billy club, and then hauled it up to the restaurant, where I cut it loose in the dining room at the peak of the dining hour. People screamed and cursed me and ran around like rats while I was chopping the pig loose. 2 of the fishing guides cornered it and dragged it out to a van, and then they slit its throat the next day and hung it up to bleed, and then they put it in the meat locker to cool off. Now, the moral of the story is never let strangers get their hands on the key to your meat locker. And also, get out while you can, which I will have to do now, immediately. The fat is in the fire. Salah. The epilogue to the story is the boy found it when he woke up to go to school. His mother heard him screaming on his way out of the house, and then she saw it. I ate 3 or 4 Valiums, she said, and then I called Ernie to take the thing away. It was 3.5 hours before we could use the toilet. Lloyd didn't wake up until noon, and by the time he went to the bathroom, the head was lying in the bathtub. And I was gone. But I'm back now, standing around the bar at night, and people are a lot nicer to me. I buy drinks for women and put liters of Chivas Regal on my tab. And I may be here for a while. March 18th, 1983.